die, we multiply. With my eyes closed. Yeah, we never die. We never die, we multiply. Okay, let's do it like this. Look, mama told me I could be what I want. The game messed up, I wanna leave but I won't. Fans tell you that they gon' buy your stuff but they don't. I guess it's only pictures they want. I take it back to the days before we ever knew we'd ever get paid. Before these people knew the records we made. Before Twitter, before we could complain about records that never get played. I'm just trying to have my memory saved. But look, this is not the greatest loss in this life. The greatest loss is what dies inside while we alive. That's why I really want you to remember that you have to take care of the people that are close to you. I mean, how much does it cost to show somebody love? We can only rise by lifting others above where they have landed. And there's madness in love, but there's always some reason in madness. And I return stronger. Yeah. We never die, we multiply. I can see you with my eyes closed. I return stronger. We never die, we multiply. I can see you with my eyes closed. God gave us the gift of life, now it's up to ourselves to gift ourselves our own gift of living it well.
Now, the Riky Rick Foundation has just released that song that you just saw, a single called Stronger, this Youth Month, to keep his legacy alive. Rikhado Makhado passed away in February last year, you'll remember, after losing his battle with mental illness. The rapper, singer and songwriter's family used artificial intelligence to bring back the King Kotini, even if it's just for a moment. And that follows a release of his mother, Louisa Zondo's book titled Dearest Riky, a mother's journey through grief. To find out how this project helped the family become stronger, she joins us alongside Themba, Dladla, and we've also got Sheiks Makhado in studio. Thank you very much for joining us, to all of you. Ma, I'm going to start with you. Obviously, it's been a tough, it's just a little over a year now, and obviously very tough time. The importance that this song as a foundation that it was important to put together. I mean, those words, we never die, we multiply, have become something so powerful for many people. So why was Stronger such an important message to release to the youth in Youth Month?
These are the significant parts of it. Greetings, and thank you very much for having us. The significant parts are around the Youth Month, and Rikhado's undying connection and love and desire for young people to be cared for and to be given the opportunities that they need to prove themselves, to save us, in fact, from the throes of this world which have so much that's going wrong. So I am deeply, deeply pleased by all the effort that has gone into putting this music together. It is part of the campaign that the Riky Rick Foundation for the promotion of artivism launches with. It's the first campaign. It's a mental well-being campaign. With this music, Stronger, the messages of being stronger together are brought up. Yeah. The messages of caring for each other, loving each other, being open to connecting and allowing ourselves to be compassionate towards each other, to bring out the best of each other, come through the music. So Stronger grounds our connection to mental health and well-being.
Sheiks, Themba, I want to get your insights into the production process of this particular song. It was artificial intelligence was used here. Tell us about that creative process and putting it together, making sure it would be something that resonates with young people, particularly the message behind it.
So the process in making the song was a long and difficult one. It was actually suggested to us about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer. And then the process began with audio militia and Ganja Beats, Riky Rick's longtime collaborators, you know. And Ganja Beats made the beat, and Audio Militia extracted Ricky's tweets and used his words and used an AI company, I believe in the Ukraine, to go over Ricky's voice, Ricky's sound, and used thousands of hours of footage and sound to recreate how he sounds. And they used another artist to recreate the way Riky speaks. And they put that in the system, used the tweets. So the actual songs are Ricky's words, if not spoken himself, but said by himself. And that was the process with making the actual song. But what was longer was the emotional journey we went through with accepting the song and hearing him in such a way and knowing that it's not actually him. So we went through those initial difficulties, but what helped us was the message behind us and the focus being on mental health and to the foundation and promoting mental health and, you know, carrying out his vision for the foundation and helping the youth.
Yeah, I mean, I could see you nodding there about the emotional roller coaster that was involved in that process. From your experience when you were putting it together, what was that like for you?
Of course, you have to first take in the fact that it sounds so much like him, the cadence and everything.
It's amazing, yeah.
Then you're looking out around the room, where is he? And so it really was an emotional process, like Themba has just said. But at the same time, it just shows you how much technology, how far we've gone as a society with technology, because they got it spot on. And if you did not know Riky physically, you would have thought that he was in the studio recording that song.
I mean, I did. I probably thought it was unpublished work that was there, you know, unreleased work that came out there. And that's quite special that technology can keep the people we care about so close to us in its own way. Deeper into the message that is shared in the music, the problem we have in South Africa is that we're a very conservative society and we're not very open about mental health issues. Had we been more open about our feelings and what we're going through, perhaps we wouldn't see the kind of tragedy that we see now. How do we turn that around to say it's okay to be open?
Yeah, I think we just have to continue where we've started. We just have to continue with the messages that it actually doesn't serve us to leave behind these veils that we put on in order for us to feel like we are more acceptable, we are more valued, we are likely to be loved more if we present these veils. You know, if we allow ourselves to tell our stories, to show ourselves, of course, in safe ways. We have to also manage the risks around this. When we manage to show ourselves, we get more of the support, the help, the understanding that we need from others, and we allow others too to open up and imagine a world where we are all genuine, we are all authentic, we are all opening up. Do you think we would be doing corruption in a world like that? Because we will know each other. I'll look in your eyes and know that, oh my goodness, something is wrong with you. Very soon we'll be talking about the temptation that you fell into, and we'll be putting repair measures to make sure that you come up, you confess, you clean up, and we move on. So I believe that this is the path throughout. This is the path to our creation of those things that we really want to see in society. We start being honest. We start being open about the damage that has been caused on us. History has caused us a lot of damage. Let's start engaging with all of those things. Let's start causing new pathways to heal. So the foundation has then gone ahead, in line with what Rikhado was always saying, let us be connected, has gone ahead and partnered with a mental health service. It's called the Panda Mental Health. It's an app. So you are able to download this app and go into a range of community engagements. You were talking about all sorts of issues that we are troubled about, which we don't speak openly about. There's community there. We start talking, we engage, and hopefully we go into places where we need to go to as individuals to go deeper into our challenges.
Themba, I want to come back to you and just ask you about the staying power of Riky Rick. As young people, we're dealing with so many pressures, whether it be unemployment or whatever it is, and sometimes we find ourselves in fleeting moments where things don't interest us for much longer, just because we keep it moving. How important is it for you and the rest of the team to make sure that Riky's legacy remains, that he remains having that staying power? And I'm talking here about the sound, something that will keep people attracted, not only remembering his music, but also listening to that messaging. How do we keep that staying power in a world that is so saturated with so many things?
So that's a difficult question to answer because, you know, he was an artist and musician at first. So most people would think to the music.
Yes.
Just look at the music and do the music. But when you look at Riky's influence, it goes way above and beyond his music. It was just the medium which he used to, you know, affect the world. When you see how he affected arts, culture, he was even political in his endeavor to see corruption and see the wrongs happening in our society and call them out. So I think how we try to push Riky's staying power and his legacy is through this foundation and to continue affecting the youth and children the way he affected them, which is to inspire them, to motivate them, to pull them together in the community for a greater good. And even in his absence and the way he left us, he still calls us to look at the issues that surround us, that, you know, although he was this big star and he had all these things, these issues actually affect everyone, you know? So he's still able to pull together people from all sectors of, you know, all walks of life to this call for us to gather and to help each other in being better and keeping each other.
Yeah. Now, apart from being really entrenched in the youth, Sheiks, and being able to relate so well, he was also a parent. And it's not just our responsibility as young people to speak up when we're feeling a certain way. Parents, guardians, educators, employers have a responsibility as well to make sure that they are taking care of those around them. How important is that part of his legacy, making sure that everybody is involved in making sure that we deal with mental health issues from both sides of the spectrum?
I think it's very important, as being a parent myself.
Yeah.
One thing my brother and I shared is the fact that we went into parenthood in a similar time. We had kids maybe 4 months apart. Being a parent is sort of a building block because the young people look up to you, your children look up to you. So I think it's so important that we break the mold of this school of hard knocks.
Yeah.
Especially as an African culture. You know, we come from a culture like get up off your feet and get it going.
Yes.
So communication starts at the top and it goes all the way down. So if we continue to have such a closed environment where we're not expressing, where the parents are not letting children know what's going on in our lives, maybe not every detail, but having an open circular family allows children also to be able to be expressive, because mental illness starts in the foundation phases of a human, 0 to 7, 7 to 14, 14 to 21, Maslow's pyramid of growth, of development. So if we as the parents are not vocal, we are definitely going to create a disease that continues to raise young people that are bottled up all the way through. So to answer your question, it's simple. It's the most important thing for us to be vocal as a society, as a parents, as a government, and as people that people look up to.
Yeah, and that was going to be my last point to all three of you, if you will. A final question, and I'll start with you, Ma. Do you think enough is being done by big institutions like government? And what is it that you would like to see going forward? It cannot be the work of foundations only. There needs to be a buy-in from bigger, more influential stakeholders like our government.
Absolutely. And in the book, I pose this question very loudly to say, what does it take for all to center mental health and well-being in everything that they are about, from government to business to institutions of all kinds, to families, to friends, to communities. What does it take for all of us to be centering mental health and well-being? Let us start doing that. Let us be minded to put this at the center, because it's a global scourge. It's a global pandemic. It's continuing. It's one pandemic that is not going to be vaccinated away. It is continuing to grow.
No, absolutely. Sheiks, Themba, you can maybe weigh in on that question as well, but also any other promotional work we're going to be seeing around the song, and where can people get access to it? I'll start with you, Sheiks.
Themba will be able to give all the information where it's available. But just on my mom's point there, you know, it's important that we realize that this is something that exists.
Yeah.
I think we didn't know that there's something as mental health issues, and everybody has a little bit of it. It's just that there's no context to it, and there's no department that is emphasized that this is something that exists.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You can maybe just give us all those details as well,
Okay, to the foundation, this is the first of many projects which we intend to bring out in the future. So keep on watching the foundation, follow the foundation, please support the foundation. The foundation can be found at rikyrickfoundation.co.za. We can be found at Riky Rick Foundation on Twitter, Instagram, and the song's available on all digital streaming platforms, Apple, Deezer, Spotify. And it's just the first of many. We're pioneering something, as Riky always did, you know. So, yeah, we'd like to call upon the support of that, and yeah.
And at the end of the song, you will see that there is a number that you can dial in order to contribute, to donate towards the support of the work that many individuals and organizations are already doing in the field of mental health and well-being. So *120 *704# is the number to dial in order to make your donations.
No, absolutely. Thank you very much. And as someone who understands mental health quite intensively, it's very unfortunate that people don't have, unless you've got money, you don't have access to those resources. So the fact that there are platforms like this is actually very important. Ma, thank you very much for joining us. Sheiks, Themba, thank you very much for making the time to join us in the studio, and really good luck with all the endeavors that you are. It is quite the mountain, mental health in South Africa, and being able to deal with it adequately. Thank you very much for joining us. And that is an important conversation around mental health, that Riky Rick Foundation initiating something very important via that song. You did hear you can access it on all digital streaming platforms. And also, if you don't necessarily have access to the internet at some point because of load shedding or whatever, there is a US SSD code that you can dial on your phone, which all that information appears at the end of that song.